Yeah, man. I mean, I don't know if it's so much like loosen up the reins. I think it was finally finding like a group of guys that were collaborated well with the two of us, and it's two minds to five minds, and that many more cooks in the kitchen either can be a disaster or it can be the best recipe ever. And for us, it ended up being, I think, the best recipe ever, and it's cool, man. I mean, it's just different stuff that you wouldn't expect. I mean, I wouldn't say. I mean, I would say they will get it. I think there's sometimes it's kind of. Oh, I'm not gonna lie. There was a moment, but
There's always
There's
moments like
moments of
that.
that with everyone back and forth. You just have to know when to just swallow your pride or your ego. Sometimes be like, you know what? Maybe that riff does suck.
exactly. But I mean, for me, honestly, it was. I was always hoping to find like a group of people that could write together, and that was always. It was a habit of mine. Just kind of the first band I started was, I just kind of dived in and was supplied a bunch of songs, and I was like, "This is what you're playing. Are you cool with it? Yeah, all right." So yeah, it's great. I think the fucking attitude was probably the best part about it. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Now we live by that attitude.
I'm so calculated.
Yeah.
La, 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 la.
I think it's a combination of growth as a band, but at the time when you were listening to the old Wilson stuff, it was songs that were majorly written by Jason and myself, and these guys hadn't really come into the picture because they had been songs that were written over the process of maneuvering members around. So when we got the lineup that you see here, the full trust and dedication of each person was put into the mix, man. I mean, that's a natural progression of adding, other elements into your concoction. I think that it was once we realized that we were onto something good by using that formula, we just decided to stay headstrong with it and really. I hate to use the word cut out the fat because I don't think any old Wilson had any fat in it. It's just it's just a different. It's just like when we knew with the stuff that we knew we could do the best, we decided to focus on those things instead of wasting time on figuring other things out.
Yeah, no, Chad and I have known each other for a long time, even previous to this band. We used to jam together. Same with Pooey. I've known Jason for a while too, and it was just a matter of getting a bunch of guys together that have confidence in each other. Like I'm confident that Chad can pull, something off. I'm confident that Jason can handle something, write awesome shit, and I can add what I need to add.
Kyle, though,
I never knew Kyle before. No, Kyle's the baby of the band. First time I ever met Kyle, I was when I joined this band. So yeah,
They're giving him the Newstead.
the new step.
Then. It's a hazy.
Well, I did kiss him on the neck.
That's
The first time I met him, I kissed him on the neck and freaked him out. Yeah.
That is true. That is true.
before any words were spoken. Wake up over there.
Hey! Sorry, I nodded off for a little bit. Ah!
I mean, I can only speak for myself. I don't find that there's any bad burden that we've gotten. And I mean, there's not. The only thing that I could ever say about the band is that, especially with this record, is proving that it's an onion. It's not just a bunch of rabble rousers pulling their dicks out and playing rock and roll for free beer. There's a. I mean, this part of it's definitely part of
definitely part of
the
it.
core of our band, but the only thing that kind of can be daunting with that attention is when if the wrong negative light about something that you're doing. For instance, we were from Detroit, so sometimes people like to use negative connotations on where we come from. So they start out pieces of like from capital murder, a murder city, Detroit. Like that sort of shit sucks because that's not where we're out here preaching.
much pressure as like being in a band is always like a matter of compromising, and with us it's always been, when we find compromise, it's between the five of us, and now it's working with a bigger team, which is obviously great and we're in great hands, but it's now a whole another level of working with other people and trying to put together the best thing for the band collectively. So there's a lot of opinions coming in where we don't quite see eye to eye sometimes, but like at the end of the day, everybody is trying to help everybody, and what we've come up with so far has been awesome. So it's a little strange, but it's been working out really, really well.
It takes some getting used to because it's definitely a little bit different, but we've been doing like the grind. We've been playing, we started doing weekend shows where we'd play every Friday and Saturday for an entire year. From there moving to more regional, like you said, and then we shot further and further with each tour. Like 2 years ago we played 150 plus shows in the year, and that was all on our own at that point, or 3 years ago even. So the only difference now is there's more people at some of the shows, and there's, more of these to do, I guess, a little bit more press involved, but no.
How dare you?
But other than that, and then a lot more free beer. A lot more free beer, and you got to make some mistakes before you figure out, I guess, how to handle that problem.
So much free
It's
beer.
a good problem to have, right?
I don't hate it.
Deftones.
Foo Fighters.
Ooh, yeah, I'd say probably the Foo Fighters. Definitely one of them. Maybe,
That's not fair.
yeah.
Kenny G.
I was going to say Foo Fighters too, but also Van Halen. If I got to meet Van Halen, that would just be like God.
I'd say Metallica, too. Like Newstead? That was cool. That was awesome.
Drop his pants, take his underwear down, tell him to close his eyes, and put his head back. And just feel what I'm about to do.
Let Landry take care of business.
We would give him our free beer.
we would tell him, hey, we won't fuck this up.
Drinking competition. I'll do a drinking competition. Case of beer and a bottle of booze, and the first one to fall loses. That'd be my
You could get him every coffee brand ever.
absolute.
Coldplay.
I just downloaded my first MP3s the other week. I think my guilty pleasure is probably Kid Rock's first record. I guess it's not his first record. The Devil Without a Cause. Yeah, so I shouldn't say it's first. That's probably my guilty pleasure, yeah.
I'm just gonna put a genre out there. Probably pop punk. I'm not gonna lie. That's what I'm trying to think. I mean, probably damn it. Maybe some Every Avenue. Maybe some good old Every Avenue.
Good dudes.
Kenny G.
I didn't hear the question. Guilty pleasure on my iPod? Oh, man. Probably, yeah, that's kind of embarrassing. It's like, feels wrong. I don't know.
I can go right on. Meg Myers. I don't know if she's even a celebrity. She's a new musician. I am obsessed with her. Meg Myers, yeah.
Ryan Gosling.
He's got great thighs.
Kenny G.
Mila Kunis.
I'm gonna say the younger Jennifer Love Hewitt. Well, it sounds creepy. Yeah, like 90s Hewitt.
You got the